I feel like the luckiest guy in the world. I have an amazing family, a God I trust, and every day I get to chase the American dream. I've worked since I was 15 and now I am self-employed and a small business owner of 2 companies. My wife and I have turned our passions into our livelihood. Deep down inside though, the outdoors is my true desire. Born and raised in the Colorado Rockies, my love for the outdoors has taught me to be a warrior. But like everybody else living the American dream, the outdoors gets pushed to the side at least 5 days a week, 260 days a year. So when the weekend rolls around, so many others like myself become that warrior. We call them a weekend warrior. Ryan Johnson, and this is Weekend Warrior Outdoors. Weekend Warrior Outdoors is proudly sponsored by Gunnison Country Chamber of Commerce, Dynamic Lures, Fishing for Men Ministries, Elk Creek and Lake Fork Marinas, Gene Taylor Sporting Goods, and the Insurance Center of Gunnison. Can't believe it's application time already. Here it is, it's snowing outside, and I'm thinking about hunting next fall. I want to take a second and talk about the draw process in the western United States. It's something I don't think very many people take advantage of, and truth be told, it can be a way for an average Joe, an average guy, to have the hunt of a lifetime without spending the thousands of dollars required on an outfitted hunt. A western big game hunt is just beyond their reach financially, and it's something they're never going to be able to do. And in fact, if you start applying in the draw and building points, it may not be next year, it may not be 5 years from now, but somewhere down the line, there's a really good chance you're going to have an opportunity for a truly amazing, once-in-a-lifetime western big game hunt. And it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. But to do that, you've got to start applying in the draw now. And let me talk just a little bit about how you might go about that. A good place to start is to start looking at some of these magazines that are specifically dedicated to drawing tags in the western United States. The Huntin' Full is a good one. The Eastman's Hunting Journal does a pretty good job. I'm sure there's others. Those are the 2 I'm familiar with. Spend some time in these magazines and study the states and the units and the species of animals you're interested in hunting, and start to get an idea of the places and units that you'd like to hunt. Another place that I spend a lot of time each winter is in the different states' big game proclamations. These things are going to give you a lot of insight on tag fees, drawing processes, units that are open to non-residents, units that aren't open to non-residents. There's a lot of information in these, and you need to spend some time in them. So let's talk about a couple of things when you're getting ready to apply for the draw. It's really important to have a strategy before you ever sit down at the computer and start spending money. For a lot of guys, the strategy is going to be trying to chase that bull or buck of a lifetime. I know a lot of guys, I have a lot of friends that simply apply in the western states wanting nothing but that 380-inch bull or that 200-inch mule deer. And that's fine. If that's what you want, then apply accordingly. Me personally, I love to hunt. And so I'm going to apply in a way that allows me to hunt more often. I live in the state of Colorado, so I apply in Colorado in such a way that I'm going to get to hunt every year. I apply for tags that usually take me anywhere from 2 to 5 years to draw. It gives me the opportunity to hunt in a little bit better unit than just going out over the counter. And in the years that I don't draw, I supplement with over-the-counter archery tags, cow elk licenses, tags that are just going to allow me to hunt in my home state. And then when I start looking outside of Colorado, I'm looking for a couple of things. First off, I'm looking for units that are going to give me good quality rut hunts. I want to hunt the elk when they're bugling. I want to hunt mule deer when they're chasing does. I want to have a good time, basically. So I look for season dates that are going to afford me that. I personally I'm not afraid to hunt with a muzzleloader, a bow, or a rifle, so I look for dates before weapon type. You, however, might be the opposite, and that's fine. If you really want to hunt with a rifle, then start looking at the rifle hunts that are going to give you an opportunity to hunt during those dates. Something else I'm looking for is, personally, I don't need to kill these huge monster world-class animals, so I'm not applying for the Henry Mountains for mule deer in Utah or Unit 9 for elk in Arizona. I'm applying for these units that are just a little bit off of the best units in the state, still have tremendous animals, but have a lot better draw odds than the best units in the state. I'm typically looking for units that are going to give me a chance to hunt, say a 340 to 360 type bull. I want lots of elk, I want good rutting activity, and low pressure from other hunters. When it comes to mule deer, I'm looking at the end of November, beginning of December. I want to kill 170 to maybe 190 inch mule deer. And again, I'm looking for units that are going to give me decent draw odds without having a ton of hunters to compete with. The other part of the draw that plays a part for me is states that do and don't require tag fees to be paid up front. I don't have an unlimited budget, and so I love the states that give me the opportunity to apply for and gain preference points without sending them a ton of money. A lot of states will allow you to buy some type of hunting license, typically a small game license, and then a nominal fee per species to apply and gain those bonus points needed to draw that tag 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Utah's a great state for this. Their small game license is relatively inexpensive, and then for $10 per species I can gain that bonus point every year. And the cool thing about Utah is they give a few tags out on the random draw, which means I still have an opportunity to draw those tags even though I may not have a ton of points built up. Another really cool thing that happened just this year is Arizona moved to a similar system. So now for me, Arizona went from one of the most expensive states to apply for to one of the most reasonable. For those of you that maybe haven't been applying for tags for a long time or haven't had the opportunity to build up these points, there's some states that also offer tags on a 100% lottery type system. No preference points at all. While these states typically require you to front tag fees, you have as much opportunity to draw the tag in the first year as you do as if you've been putting in for 30 years, which is really cool for someone who's maybe a little older and doesn't have 20 years to build up and save points for this type of hunt. Good states to look at for these types of hunts are New Mexico and Idaho, are doing great jobs as far as this is concerned. When you start applying for these things, just keep in mind that it's a long-term deal. If you're back east, or a hunter that thought a western big game hunt was out of reach, or a hunt that you may never be able to do, think again. Start applying in these preference point and bonus point type draws and building preference, and who knows, in 10 or 15 years you might have a tag of a lifetime, and it's a lot more affordable than you thought. You don't have to hire an outfitter. Be prepared to work hard, and you're going to have a great hunt. For now, I'm Ryan with Weekend Warrior Outdoors. Good luck, and I hope you draw that tag of a lifetime.